There have certainly been more active investigations in Africa than in any other region of the world by far, and so far the only successful prosecutions under the International Criminal Court's remit have been of Africans. That said, what we're really seeing there is the natural consequence of the really quite commendable leadership that African member states showed, particularly in the early noughties. The International Criminal Court really came about as a result of successful and effective lobbying by various African countries. The first country to ratify the Statute of Rome empowering the International Criminal Court was Senegal, and to this day there are more African countries signed up to the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court than in any other region of the world, and this will be the case even if South Africa and Burundi do indeed leave. There has certainly been a lot of prosecutions of Africans under the ICC, but it's worth bearing in mind that more than half of these were a result of self-referral by the state in question. So what we're really seeing is that Africa's really quite bold and principled leadership on the ICC has resulted in what appears to be quite a disproportionate outcome. I think it's pretty clear that the ICC is here to stay. Nobody would say that it's had an easy first 15 years, but I think it's very, very clear that the concept around which the ICC was based, the idea that justice should be universal and that tribunal-based justice through the Security Council was too piecemeal, I think that concept has won out. However, in order for the International Criminal Court to live up to that concept, we do need all the member countries of the United Nations to sign up. Now, what's interesting is actually that is happening. 124 currently state parties. If these two countries do regrettably leave, that will drop down to 122. I think Britain can be more public in its championing of the ICC, and I think Britain can push its allies who have not yet ratified the Rome Statute, the statute upon which the ICC is based, and challenge them as to why they haven't ratified, and to make the case that this is a global court and it needs a global jurisdiction, and therefore we need to pressure countries to sign up to the ICC if they have not done so. Many Western countries actually have not done so. Only 2 of the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council have done so. So there's certainly allies upon which we can work. Now, the other thing Britain can do is it could ratify the Kampala Amendments. The Kampala Amendments bring the crime of aggression, of waging aggressive war, into the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court. This is a key concept in global justice, and thus far it hasn't been possible to agree a definition of what constitutes waging aggressive war. It now is, and Britain can now sign